Yeah.
Hello, welcome to a brand new series. Kerbal Space Program multiplayer using the Dark multiplayer mod, and this will be our first multi-perspective series that we are recording in a new line of multi-perspective series, meaning this and like one other thing.
You'll be able to see my screen.
Yes, you will be able to see Bobby's screen. This will be basically the next time we record Civ as well. We will do that as well as whatever we're doing after this round of Civ is over, between now and the next round of Civ. Right. So this is Kerbal. I'm not going to go over all of these buildings because we will use them and we will talk about them when we use them. We are going to start with this building right here, which is Mission Control. So let's click on that. Mission Control, we get and accept contracts here, which will give us rewards, basically. So the first mission here is to launch a new vessel. Easy enough. A little bit of science, a little bit of reputation, a little bit of money. So let's accept that contract. And you can accept multiple of these at once. Second mission. Achieve an altitude higher than 5,000. Easy enough. Let's accept that one. Escape the atmosphere. This one pays out a decent amount for this early on. And that's also easy enough to do. So we will accept that as well. And orbit Kerbin. And this one's pretty easy too. So we will accept that as well. And that gives us a bunch of science, a bunch of reputation, and a fair amount of money for this early. So let's leave here and head to the vehicle assembly chamber. Alright, so this early on, we don't really have any science we can do. A little bit. We can, actually, we can take our command pod here, and we're going to... I'm going to launch with just the command pod to gain ourselves a little bit of science early on.
You're using my trick.
I am using your trick because I would like to get this all done in one shot, and I don't think you can get orbit without doing some weird glitchy things.
No, you can't.
In the first stage of science here. So, we are on the launch pad with our command pod. And we're going to do a crew report, which will get us a little bit of science. We will keep the data. Then we will do an EVA with our little guy here. We will do a EVA report, which will get us some more science. And then we will... oh, no, we don't want to board. Whoops. EVA, please. Thank you. Space, let go. And then we will collect a surface sample, which will also get us a little bit more science. So, now we will reboard here. Or, yeah, F, grab, there we go, and board. And then recover the vessel. So we spent a little bit of money for that, but recovering, we've got 16 science earned from that, which should be enough to get us the first stage.
Actually, I don't think you spent any money.
Oh yeah, so no, you get the money back.
Yeah, you get the money back. Yeah. So while you're gathering science, I have constructed a rocket, a liquid propelled rocket using 2 fuel tanks stacked on top of each other, with the only other rocket engine that you have aside from the solid rocket fuel booster, and we're going to see how high we can go with this. And I'm going to break. I also accepted the same contracts that Dan did. So I'll be hopefully getting credit for launch a new vessel and achieve an altitude of 5,000 meters.
And while he's doing that, I'm in the tech tree, in the science building, grabbing the first level of research, which I will show you guys after Bobby's launch is complete.
And you will most likely hear an explosion on my end, because I have fucked up immensely. Yes. You will see it too. So the rocket, which I named the Cartman 1, because I just watched the South Park episode on YouTubers shortly before recording this. So the Cartman 1 rocket exploded because I had attached a parachute to the same stage as my rocket.
Whoops.
Yes.
Easy to do, though.
It is very easy to do, especially when you're used to constructing very complex rockets where it automatically sets the stages for you and you have some wiggle room. So this is my flight results here. I didn't. I met one contract item. I launched a new vessel, but I didn't even reach 5,000 feet. Highest. Let's see here. Highest altitude achieved 152 meters. And we lost Alfred Kerbal.
Oh no, not Alfred Kerbal.
Yes. So we're gonna go return to vehicle assembly, and right over here on the far right hand side of the corner, I'm gonna hit the plus sign to add another stage to our rocket, and we're gonna do that.
Alright, so while Bobby's been doing that, I have been building my rocket here. And let's see, I've got 2 stages so far, and on this first stage I'm going to add some solid fuel boosters. I think maybe, just maybe, this will probably be enough to get us into orbit. It'll be close, I think. Actually, you know what? We're actually going to do this, and I'm going to add another stage. Because I'm just not sure it's enough. So we're going to set this guy off to the side. I'm going to add a tank there. And put this guy in. And then we need to come over here and grab a stack decoupler. And then we're going to add one more tank and then connect this back up to the bottom. So now we've got a lot of tanks and a very tall rocket. And we also want to put a parachute on here. And we're going to put some mystery goo for scientific purposes. Right, and we want to put...
You know what the mystery goo is, right?
Not a clue.
It is, I just created some mystery goo in my previous mission, basically.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's see if that works. And it doesn't... Oh, that kind of blocks the door. Let's not do that. So we will put just 2 on. And what I'm doing down here is I'm clicking symmetry mode and whatnot. Probably, I mean, after this, we probably won't show a ton of... After these first couple episodes, maybe, and first couple rockets, we probably won't show a ton of the building process, because the bigger rockets can get kind of tedious.
And I must have my solar panels placed precisely.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so I'm ready to launch. I think. So I'm going to hit launch here.
So... While Dan was assembling, I launched the Cartman 2, which is the exact identical rocket, and I reached 15,000 meters. So for Americans, that is about 45,000 feet. Because 10,000 meters is 33,000 feet. Don't ask me why I know that. And I launched my parachute, and now I am slowly floating down to Kerbin, not Earth.
Okay, I think we are ready. One thing we're going to do while we're here is we are going to observe our mystery goo on the launch pad. So we get that science on one of them. And we will keep that. And then we are ready to launch. So, we've got some stages here and whatnot, but we're going to throttle back our main engine and turn on SAS, which will help us stay stable. And let's just launch. And up we go. Actually, I need to throttle down more. Because these solid fuel boosters are getting us up to speed early.
Oh, you just completely like flew right past my craft. That was pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't even see it.
Well, I'm floating down, and I'm
Yeah.
about to land on the crawlway here.
Okay, so we've gotten up to about 5,000 now. And really at 7,000 is when you want to be hitting 200 meters per second. Or, yeah. And then just because of drag and whatnot. And we are kind of slowing down because we're a little bit weighed down. But we are going to do a... Okay, around 10,000, we want to turn over to 90 on our nav ball here. And this is starting a gravity turn, which will bring us up into orbit. And you can see we're kind of drifting off course here a little bit, just because these early rockets are not the most stable things in the world. And we really should be going a lot faster right now, but I still have these solid fuel boosters attached because I have no way to detach them at the moment. And now we're detached, and now we are going to go a lot faster. We'll leave the throttle there, and I will check our map menu here. All right, so we want to bring our apoapsis up to 70,000. Hopefully, that's the plan. That'll achieve orbit and get us out of the atmosphere. So we should hopefully have enough fuel for that. Yeah, we still got a lot of fuel left. So we're climbing now, and we can actually start to turn over a little bit more, which will widen and start moving us towards an orbit. We're getting there. Are you recovering your vehicle?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
My Kerbal couldn't get back into his spaceship, so I had to recover him and then go back and recover the
Gotcha.
capsule.
All right, so now what we're going to do, we've got up to where we need to be. Now we're going to click here, and we don't necessarily need to do this, but I've been doing this because, I don't know, and add a maneuver, and then we're just going to burn prograde until we achieve an orbit, and that's really far out. We don't want to be that far away. Right about. That's still really far. And really far. And jeez.
What? I
Okay, that's
didn't
good
want
enough.
to.
Okay, so now what this will do is this will give us a little mark on our screen here, and it'll give us an estimate for how long we need to burn for. So we're going to aim for that mark, and then basically it says 37-second burn here. So if it's going to be 37 seconds, we're basically going to want to start burning about half that time before we hit the node. And then, so you're burning half before and then half after. So, I mean, we could fast forward, but we're getting pretty close. So we'll just wait it out. What are you working on?
I'm taking a surface sample from the launch pad because for some reason I thought I was going back to the assembly facility, but it made a copy of my rocket and put it back on the launch pad.
Okay. All right,
So
so we are at about 20 seconds out, and I think we'll probably start burning now. We will need to kind of watch our fuel here because we are going to have to stage. There it goes. And there we go. And now we are burning down quite quickly. And you can see our orbit is widening. And we are almost there. And we will get all of these contracts in one shot. And there we go. We kind of missed a little bit. Went a little bit over. But then we can just get rid of this guy. Oh, no. Oh, we kind of messed that up a little bit. We're Right. So we need to. I think we need to burn a. No, we need to burn away. We need to come here and burn a little bit so we can get a bit further away. So let's do this until our periapsis gets above 70,000. Oh no, that's bad. Why is that doing that? Huh. Right. So we're gonna do. Oh God. We need to go higher. Go higher. There we go.
Everyone likes getting higher.
All right. And we screwed something up here. Not really sure what. Easy to do at these early stages, so we don't actually have an orbit yet. So we need to actually go, I believe, I'm just going to make a maneuver just to be safe. Add a maneuver here, and then we need to... No, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. Yeah, we want to do that. And bring us around... Sure, that'll do. So we need to find our mark. We only need a 6-second burn, and we're 30 seconds out. So let's line up with our mark here. It'll be a pretty big orbit, but that's all right. We don't need a great orbit for our first orbit here. Just as long as we have enough fuel to get back, which we might not have.
Meh.
Yeah, it's the first Kerbal. We can rescue him then. All right, 3 seconds. Let's go burn. 4, 3, 2, and we ran out of fuel. So we got all but one. I don't know what went wrong there. So
Did you leave a Kerbal stuck in the atmosphere? Or
no, I didn't actually manage to achieve the orbit. I will. My current periapsis is at 19,000.
Ah.
But I'm gonna have to do a little bit fast forwarding here. This is probably the only episode that's gonna be like this. I think after this we'll probably, seat of our pants kind of a thing, and not a lot of necessarily explaining what's going on. But since this is the first episode, kind of need to explain what we're doing.
Explain the concept of space travel. I am constructing another rocket right now.
And I am traveling into the future.
Let's see here. What should I... And Dan is traveling into the future.
I am.
Which, in certain mods, it's technically possible. What should I name... Let's see here. What should I name this next rocket series?
I don't know. Mine didn't even have a name, because I don't really
Where's
care
the creativity? Where's the creativity in that?
There isn't any. I guess we should have... let's just observe our mystery goo while we're still way up here. And get that... keep data, please.
What?
I should have done an EVA report, but I forgot. We're going to come back. So, and we are falling into the atmosphere now. Let's separate from this stage. We don't need that anymore. You're dead to me, stage. Right. So we will wait till we get a little bit lower to deploy our parachute and do a little bit more fast forwarding, traveling through time, relative to Bobby.
Yes. Time is all relative. Well, I could nerd out on all sorts of topics on this in this game, but I will spare everyone that.
Oh, I'd really like to achieve orbit this episode. We are 20 minutes in.
I am making a good attempt at it. So I've got 3 solid rocket boosters kind of lined up right here. And then I got 2 liquid engines right on top of each other. And I almost forgot a parachute again. Almost forgot a parachute.
All right. We are 10,000 meters and falling.
I'm going to put an antenna on top of this guy too. Because another trick that you can do is when you're doing things on the launch pad. So we'll go to the launch pad here. And because this rocket is going to be a couple, like 100 feet and change off the surface. Well, maybe, probably won't break 100. 89 feet off. It will give us credit for an EVA. So if I do crew report here, I already did that one, so I won't get any additional science for it. But if I tell Sidbury Kerman to do an EVA here, and hopefully he won't fall off, do an EVA report up here, it actually qualifies as in flight over Kerbal shores. So we can keep that data, bring him back into the pod, and then we will right-click, review stored data, and transmit, because that transmitted data is worth 100% of the original data. And because we are on the launch pad, my power in the rocket should be recharging.
It doesn't recharge, but I think when you use your engine, it'll recharge one of your fuel engines. A lot of those engines recharge your battery.
Maybe it has to be. I always had things recharge on the launch pad. Anyway, so we're here on the launch pad, and I learned to get into orbit from the original Kerbal, from the Kerbal Space Program wiki. I don't know what Dan does. But so
a little bit of you telling me what to do, a lot of bit of YouTube.
Yes. So, you see, look at this. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to change my stages here a little bit too. We want all three of those going off at once, then separation. And what I always do is I combine my separation and my next engine all into the same stage, and then I'm going to separate the last stage from the parachute. And I also selected a testing of the parachute contract. We'll see. Well, first of all, we'll see if I can get into orbit with this guy. So we're going to turn SAS on before we launch, and I'm going to keep the throttle at 2/3 since I'm starting off with solid rocket engines, and they don't, of course, have a throttle.
All right, so I've recovered the ship. While Bobby was explaining that stuff, I did an EVA on the ground and took a surface sample and that kind of stuff. And we got 37 science, bringing us up to a total of 68. And we got some money from that. Right. So when I said I was traveling through time, I was actually... Oh, that's the wrong button. Actually traveling through time. Bobby is now roughly 28 minutes in the past from me. Because I was fast-forwarding while he was not. Right. So I'm going to go into the Science Center here and unlock some more stuff. So this is what we unlocked here first with science. Now we got 68 more science that we can spend here. And we just need to spend it wisely, I guess. I think some of the first things we're going to want are probably... I would really like some radial decouplers. So we're going to take this. And we're probably going to take this one as well for the bigger solid fuel boosters. And then we're also going... Yeah, we're going to take these three here just so we can do a little bit more with our science, get a little bit more out. This will get us landing struts and the radial mount parachutes, but what we really want is what's next in line after that, which is some more science things.
All right, so when I broke 10,000 meters, I rotated myself to 45 degrees from the horizon, I guess. It's slightly backwards from aviation terminology that I'm used to, but it's 45 degrees from the surface of the planet. And so I'm rounding out my orbit and gaining altitude at the same time. And I'm going to wait for my apoapsis to get to about a little slightly over 70,000 meters like it just did. So I'm going to cut my engines. And then I'm going to rotate so that I am basically parallel with the world. And then I'm going to wait till my I'm about a minute away from my apoapsis.
While Bobby's working on that, I am changing around my design on my orbiting ship here a little bit, since now I have these radial decouplers. We don't really have anything else other than that we should add to this guy. I don't think. No, I think we're probably good. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and launch, and we will see. Oh no, I gotta change my staging here because that's all messed up. How's your flight coming?
My flight's coming along pretty good. I just had to dump my middle stage, and my orbit is rounding out. I'm using the. This is a much more efficient engine on my last stage here, but it is definitely not as powerful. So it's much more slower, which is why I'm approaching my apoapsis a lot faster than I was before. But the important thing is to keep yourself 90 degrees to the planet. And of course now I've passed the highest point of my orbit. Now I'm falling, and hopefully my orbit will round out before I fall to the planet. Actually, I'm going to go like about 85 degrees. Hopefully I can get some altitude while I'm trying to round out my orbit here. Coming around.
I am launching. Oh, and
spinning.
I'm
I'm still in the pass, so it still shows. Oh, there's my periapsis, and that is almost above the atmosphere. This has to get up to 70,000 clicks. There we go, and we are in orbit.
Excellent. I am. I'm spinning.
So I'm gonna.
That's gonna make for a rough gravity turn.
So I'm gonna speed up my time here, in hopes that I'll catch up to Dan. I can hit the sync button. Let's just hit the sync button. There we go. Hit the sync button, and now I am in the exact same time frame as Dan. And now is a good question. Oh, I have plenty of fuel left now to burn back down. In fact, I could even. I'm going to choose my landing spot.
I am pulling a gravity turn and going to be in a really crappy orbit. Yeah, like really bad.
I'm going to wait to see where he pops up. I'm going to do a crew report while I'm up here. I also forgot to attach mystery goo because apparently I don't like science. And we're going to transmit this crew report so I can do another crew report when I land. That's 5. That's 5 easy science. God, the games I play myself, like 5 science is nothing. I need 300 science for the next level of my tier. So I'm gonna, while I'm waiting for Dan to come up into space, I'm gonna orbit around the planet again and attempt to land at this area that I'm flying over right now. This is Kerbal Deserts. Kerbal is, of course, divided into various different biomes, and you get additional science for During reports, taking surface samples from each of the biomes. So this one is one of the easier ones to get to.
I may not make orbit. The spinning has
Geez.
really affected me.
You're trying to pull like a polar orbit almost.
Yeah, 90 was a bit hard to find.
Now, of course, you always want to try to do a easterly orbit because, of course, you're going with the rotation of the planet, and the rotation of the planet helps propel you faster getting into orbit, which is why we launch, in the real world, we launch spacecraft off the east coast of Florida instead of the west coast of California.
Because nobody wants a ship crashing in the middle of the country.
Yes.
Rather, those parts go out over the ocean.
Exactly.
Okay, I think it's possible. I have a 44-second burn. We may not get back, but I think we can manage, hopefully.
I don't know.
I have another stage. I'm not on my last stage yet.
Okay. I'm watching you.
I think it's possible. I'm a minute and... Yeah, I'm like a minute out of the burn. It's a 44-second burn. I want to wait till 20 seconds, and we are so running over on time, but this will just be a long episode or I'll cut something out. We've got a little bit, because we did a little bit of, like, syncing and stuff at the beginning, so...
So we're good here.
Alright. Getting close there. 30 seconds. And... Wait for it. Wait for it. And we will burn now.
Now I see your...
Alright, we are climbing. We are halfway through our burn. We still got a little bit of fuel left in this stage. Stay on target. Stay on target. Stage over. Burn the next stage. Alright, get ready to cut this as soon as we get there, because we want to have enough fuel to get back.
Oh, hey, you just, like, grew that quickly. How'd you do that quickly?
It grows really quick at the very end, and I dropped a stage, so I lost some weight, and I still had the same engine. So we have achieved orbit. Both Bobby and... Let's get rid of this maneuver. I don't need that anymore. So Bobby and I have both achieved orbit. And honestly, if I was on a proper
trajectory
here, we'd actually be fairly close.
Yeah, you've got...
I would be a little bit ahead of you there.
Yeah, we've got... I think we're infringing on someone's trademark here.
Maybe. Probably. Right, so that'll do it for this episode. I think next time we will... Bobby and I will probably bring our crafts back between now and next time. But I think next time, maybe we will start a race to land on the moon. Because that's kind of something we've been doing in our single-player stuff. But we'll start a race to land on the moon and maybe return? I don't know. What do you think, Bobby?
Oh, sure, we'll try returning from the moon.
Land and return. So we will see you next time. If you liked the video, click like and subscribe. It'll really help us out. And we'll see you with more Kerbal next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.